we talked about it a little bit before you were on about Tua and the Guardian cap and about him coming out and saying, no, he won't wear it. I'm just curious about your thoughts on it. It bothers me so greatly as someone watching who's covered concussions her entire career. I don't get it. And I know this is a sport of individual decision, but I'm just curious on your take on him standing there saying he loves the game, he's a warrior, he wants to play, but I don't get it.
Well, if you don't get it, you don't get it. And, that's no disrespect to you, Suze, is that we're built different. And as a competitor and as an athlete, we always believe we're invincible. We always believe it's not going to happen to us. And telling me this when I'm 25 versus telling me this when I'm 38 is completely different as a player. I remember when I started to assess retirement when I was later in life, where I could step back and have the perspective of, I had this great career and it was incredible and it played out and I could probably play longer, but I want to look at this now through the lens of being a father and being a husband and being able to step away and look at the next 20 or 30 years. And it's really hard to do when you're in the beginning stages of your career. If somebody would have asked me to assess those things early on in my career, I would have simply said, no, I'm playing. This is what I've always wanted to do. This is what I worked my whole life for. I finally have the opportunity. I'm going to play, and I'm going to believe, like I do every time I step on the field, that I'm not going to get hurt and that I'm invincible. And I get it. I understand it. We can all look at from the outside and go, you're not. You can, right? This could. I get it. But that's not how we think, and that's not how we process. And so it's so easy for me, even as a former player, to step in and go, hey, see the big picture, see life beyond football. But I know when I was that age, there was no chance that I was going to see that. Even in a situation like this, where we see this and go, oh my gosh, like we've seen what's happened to Tua the last couple of years. I just understand his mentality and I understand where he's coming from. And it's easy to sit back and say it doesn't make sense. But there's a part of my brain that knows it makes 100% sense to me what Tua sat up there and said yesterday. And I believe I would have said the exact same things if I was his age, at his stage in his career, even with, the injury history. I believe I would have said the same thing. And I believe if most players are being honest with themselves, they would say exactly the same things. If he was saying that at 38 years old, I would be asking different questions. And I would be looking at this completely different, because now you can step back in reflection of what you have accomplished and what you have done. And now you can say, is that enough? Did I do enough to, kind of quench that thirst of competitiveness or proving myself or doing the thing that I love to do, or all that hard work that I put in? I was able to live that out for 12 years in my case. Now you assess it completely differently than when you're at the beginning stages of that. And that's where I think it's really hard for anybody on the outside to fully understand that mentality unless you're in it.
I'll quickly note, and perhaps we can discuss this another time, that when Suzy raised this issue when we were discussing it before the show and we talked about the Guardian cap, my initial reaction was I absolutely respect Tua's right to say, I don't want to wear one. But then I looked at it from the perspective of a business person who was with a team organization, and I thought, I wonder if a team should have the right to say to a player, okay, you want to come back and play, but we're going to mandate that you wear the Guardian cap. And then I stopped myself because I think it might have to be collectively bargained.
Yeah, but I think it's a great point.
Well, and I we can look at the Guardian cap because I understand where we're at. A lot of people can look at like knee braces. I know my son's playing college football and they're forcing him to wear, force is probably a strong word, but they're, kind of making him wear a brace on his left knee. And, that's not a bad thing, right? We protect that knee. I've seen a lot of guys hurt that knee and, suffer, ACL injuries and whatever. But he doesn't feel comfortable. He doesn't look comfortable with it. It's a reminder to him all the time that it's there instead of just playing free and playing ball. And so, again, there's a different mentality and a different thought process within us as competitors. We don't want reminders of the injuries. We don't want to hear about that stuff. We want to go play, and we want to get focused and have the mentality that we've always had of playing in the moment, playing free, not thinking about other things, because when you start thinking about other things, now you can't be the best version of yourself. And so I think all of those things continue to add into the mindset and the mentality of playing this game and wanting to play it the best you can and being able to focus solely on what's in front of you, because that can help you to be safer. That can help you to play smarter. That can help you to think clearer. And I just, those are all elements that I think about, just from a player standpoint with a helmet on, of the things that we think about.
Check out new episodes of What the Football with Suzy Shuster and Amy Trask every Tuesday. Watch us on the Rich Eisen Show YouTube page or follow and listen wherever you get your podcasts.